Welcome back. We love having you. I can do the intro.
Come on, shush. Shush. Hey guys, I'm Ava and this is WWM Productions. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. If you do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you're returning, thank you so much. We love having you.
Left onto West Center Street. Why can't every month be Pride Month?
I mean, yeah. So last time I made a video like this, I was in a blanket fort.
Look at that car.
I was in a blanket fort, but it is about like 90 degrees out today and it's too hot for a blanket fort. So instead I am filming in the car because my sister got me coffee and we're looking for it. Anyways, I went through the last 15 shows that I had watched or rewatched. And so I decided I was going to do that again. So that was about 3 months or so ago. And since then I have absorbed 15 more. When I say I absorb shows, I literally absorb shows.
She does. Keeps right up.
Anyways, I figured I would go through these last 15 binge watches or rewatches and let you know which ones are actually worth your time. Anyways, guys, without further ado, let's get into the list. By the way, I will not be spoiling anything, so you're safe. So, I went through a bit of an interior design phase kind of recently, and I watched like 3 shows that are kind of related to that. So the first one was Marriage or Mortgage, which I got way too obsessed with this show when I first watched it. It's on Netflix. It is like all of my Pinterest dreams rolled into one. It's surprisingly entertaining, but it's definitely not for everybody. But if you're interested in like wedding planning or real estate or anything like that, it's basically about these two partners. One is a wedding planner and one is a real estate agent, and they have this couple that comes in and they're either like, we want to spend this money on a wedding or we want to spend this money on a down payment for a house. And so the two partners have to compete to try to get the couple to go with them, and it's way too entertaining. It should not be that entertaining, but it is. So I would definitely recommend that one. The next interior design kind of thing that I watched was called Dream Home Makeover, which is also on my Pinterest dreams. It's about this woman who has her own interior design business, and she also has this family that is like her kids and her husband or whatever. I didn't really care about them. But so she goes through and she shows us all these transformations that she does for these houses, but then every once in a while there's like a lifestyle blog kind of thing in one of the episodes that I really didn't care about because I was just there for the makeovers. So whenever she was like, oh, and I do this for my kids and I need to teach them about respect, I was like, I don't care. But like, I don't know, if there's another season, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna rewatch these episodes, if that makes sense. If you are into interior design, I would recommend it. If you're looking for actual like quality content with like an entertaining kind of premise, probably not, but that's up to you to decide.
If you're looking for something actually good, don't go for this.
So the next thing I watched was Twin Peaks. Now it starts really strong. It is iconic. It's a murder mystery kind of show. It's kind of weird in a lot of ways. I talk a little bit more about it in my murder mystery genre analysis video. So check that out if you're interested. So personally, I would recommend it, but you might want to stop watching it after the first main antagonist is defeated. Well, it's like there is some moral gray area there, but like after they defeat that person, it just gets really weird. So I watched all the episodes that they have on Netflix, but it ends on a cliffhanger and it's like, oh, you need to watch their weird movie thing. And then there's also the reboot that I didn't watch. So like, if you're interested in watching it, I recommend it, but like, just know it's not nearly as good after the first person is like defeated. Do you have anything to say about Twin Peaks?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's very like aesthetically pleasing. It's just kind of weird. I mean, it's David Lynch, so like you know what you're in for when you start watching it. It's a very weird show, but it's so interesting, and I really liked it when I watched it. It's just a very cool show.
Okay, the next show I watched is called The Irregulars. It's good, but it's not. It's if you are into fantasy YA kind of shows, you'll probably like it. If you are the kind of person who enjoyed Fate the Wink Saga, and those are where your standards at, this will blow you away. Okay, this will blow your mind. But like, it's good for just watching it. If you're looking for like something uber stellar, probably you're not. That's not what this is gonna be. But it's good for just like something to watch, I guess. I don't really think it's a Sherlock spin-off that we needed. Like, Mr. Holmes didn't need to be in this at all. I thought that was kind of weird. I don't know if it's an adaptation of something, because it might be. But yeah, I mean, watch if you're into that stuff. It's like, it's got there's like some ghosty magic kind of things. It's a bunch of teenagers in what, like 19th century London or something, and they're like trying to solve mysteries and save the world or whatever from the ghosts. And then Sherlock is kind of there, but he's just like weird the whole time. So like, I mean, if you're into that, watch it. If you're not, probably don't. If that's something you like, you'll like it. If it's not something you'll like, you won't like it. So the next thing I watched, as you guys know, is Jupiter's Legacy. I'm not going to talk too long about it because I gave it a whole video. There are some good things. I didn't think it was fantastic. You can watch my other video on that if you want to. I would recommend it if you are very into superheroes and you're suffering from withdrawal right now because Loki hasn't come out yet. But if you're not, if you think you can hold out for Loki, I would probably recommend you hold out for Loki, or just read the original comic from Jupiter's Legacy. I don't know where you can read it. I didn't read it, but I heard that it's better, so that might be a better option for you.
So I heard that Jupiter's Legacy was not that good.
The next thing I watched was Love, Death, and Robots, which is
was
so good. It's so good. It has fantastic animation. It has a lot of gore. There are some creepy episodes, but there's also like a variety. Like, there are some that are funny. There are some that are just like thought-provoking. There are some that are more romantic. But everything is really sci-fi. And if you're a sci-fi fan and you like things that are animated, like, if you don't have an issue watching an animated show, this is good for you. Because there's only one episode that's like partially live action. There are different animation styles for different episodes. Most of them are very much in the uncanny valley. So if that bothers you, you might have an issue. But honestly, it's so good. So it's a really short watch because there are very short run times. Like, there's none more than like half an hour. I think that's maybe the longest that they get. Unfortunately, and this probably has something to do with COVID. The second season only had like less than 10 episodes, which was really unfortunate because I wanted way more, because I went through them so fast. But if you like sci-fi and you're kind of like into gore or something, honestly, watch this. Like, watch this immediately. Okay. Another show I watched is The Society. I think it's a very good teen drama full of post-apocalyptic goodness. It's an interesting concept. It's kind of like Lord of the Flies, but not. But yes. It's about high schoolers, and they're like they're trapped in like this alternate version of their town, and they have to build a society. Yeah, anyways, whoever canceled season 2 should be fired.
Yeah, facts.
It's just so good. I stand Catherine Newton, amazing. I would recommend it unless you are extremely opposed to any teen drama stuff. Like, if you're one of those people, then don't watch it because you'll be annoyed. But the next thing I watched was WandaVision. I mean, what do you think I thought of this show? I mean, It's fantastic.
It really, really was a good show.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I think I have two whole videos on this if you want to go look at it because I just liked it that much. But it's definitely appealing to people who might not even be into the MCU. But it's definitely better if you understand the MCU. I would recommend this to anybody who's into sci-fi or fantasy or superheroes or anything. And also if you are into the MCU,
decades.
Yeah, that too. But if you're into the MCU, don't skip the shows. Like, there are some pretty, like, significant ramifications that these shows are having on the actual universe, so don't skip them. Same thing goes for Falcon the Winter Soldier, which I also watched. Falcon the Winter Soldier, loved that too. It's really good. It's so both WandaVision and Falcon the Winter Soldier cover, like, tough topics, like significant topics. Like WandaVision deals with grief, and then Falcon the Winter Soldier talks about, like, there's a lot of, like, racism and what would you call the flag smasher type stuff? There's, like, politics and stuff. It is more action centric, and the plot is more straightforward than WandaVision. Like, WandaVision takes more thinking. So if you're more of an action person and less of, like, a magic or romancy person, definitely I recommend Falcon the Winter Soldier over WandaVision. But like I said, if you're into the MCU, you gotta watch both. Sorry, you just have to. And I'm pretty sure the same thing is gonna go for Loki.
No getting out of it.
Just for the record, there's a good bit of trash TV on my list here. One of which being 1,000-Pound Sisters, which is like the pinnacle of trash TV. Like, TLC really knows what it's doing in making trash TV. That is like, it's just like, I know it's bad, but I can't stop watching it, you know? I don't recommend it, because when you start watching it, you'll be addicted, and it'll make you stupider. But basically the premise is, it's these two sisters, Tammy and Amy Slayton, and the concept is they need to lose weight to get weight loss surgery. That's basically the whole thing. And there's like a few people who are decent human beings on it. Everybody is extremely annoying, and it's bad, but it's good. It's not like The Irregulars that's good, but it's not. Like, this is not good, but it is, you know? So, yeah, I mean, if you're into trash TV, I mean, watch it. If that's already a problem you have, then you can't blame it on me. If not, I don't want to get you started. So stay far, far away from this show. So another show that I watched, which was a rewatch, is Love is Blind. It's an interesting concept. It is basically, it's like, oh, let's take these people and we'll have them meet and talk without seeing each other, and then they get married and stuff. And it's like, it's talking about, can people really form a connection strong enough for marriage without seeing each other first? It's like more reality TV, so it's like, if you're into reality TV, it's good. It's kind of like Are the Straights Okay, but like not as much as the next one. I think it's definitely something you would want to watch if you like wedding shows or you like social experiments, I guess. It's definitely watchable. It's pretty good. Emmy, you watched this, right?
Yeah, I liked it. It actually wasn't it didn't make me feel as dumb as some other shows I've seen.
Too hard to handle.
Yeah, cough, cough, too hard to handle. And I actually really did like the premise, and some of the characters I really ended up liking and like actually caring about. And I thought it was a pretty good show. Yeah.
Okay, as I mentioned, that one is kind of a representation of Are the Straights Okay, but not quite as much as this one. So I watched Married at First Sight, because they put it on Netflix. They put a season of it on Netflix. This is also a trash TV entry on this list. It is 1,000 times worse than Love is Blind in terms of quality, and these people, everybody on the season are either like a bad person or just stupid.
Yes.
If you like wedding stuff and you like trash TV, you'll like this show. But like basically it's just they have these matchmakers match these people, and then they get married at first sight, and then it's like they're trying to live their lives, but like it's like not working. I mean, like, watch it but don't. Same thing as like 1,000-Pound Sisters. You'll be dumber afterwards, and you'll be addicted, but not as much as 1,000-Pound Sisters. So this one's like the gateway drug. Okay, it's good. Okay. Another show I've watched that nobody talks about, and it's so good, is Living with Yourself. It is on Netflix. It stars Paul Rudd. It's about, I don't even know how to explain it that much, but it's like kind of like a, I don't want to say psychological thriller. I don't want to say psychological thriller. It's not a psychological thriller, but it's like a thinky kind of thing, and it's so good. And it's about like there's two Paul Rudds. There's a cloning thing that goes on, and nobody talks about it, and I don't know why. I absorbed it in one day because it's less than 10 episodes, and they're all like less than half an hour long. And it's a really interesting concept, and it's surprisingly fantastic. And it's like what would happen if you just kind of got cloned? Like, who gets your life and stuff? And it's really interesting, and I would recommend this times 1,000 to basically anybody, really. I feel like everybody has something that they could find interesting in this show. I feel like it's definitely, it's not something that like you would want to watch if you're like a small child, because you might not find it interesting, but I don't think it's like inappropriate or anything. So next thing I watched was Lucifer. It's so good. The last part of like the last season just came out, and I watched it, and I'm like, whoa, you know? It's so good. I loved it. It's amazing. It's definitely something that I would like, though, because I'm also into Supernatural. If you're into Supernatural, you'll probably like this, because it's kind of got that same like biblical fiction kind of thing. Is biblical fiction a thing? Is that a term? Yeah. Biblical fiction. Yes. This is my second time watching it, because I rewatched it so that I would get into the new season. If you're a Supernatural fan, definitely check it out. It's good for really anybody who likes fantasy or drama or stuff. If you're into biblical drama, you'll like it. I would 10 out of 10 recommend it. Yeah. Okay, and then my current binge that I've actually been kind of slow on this binge. It's kind of hurting my reputation, is Heroes. So I am still on rewatching it for season 1, but I grew up with this show. It came out in like mid to early 2000s. It's like a superhero show, but in a way that I haven't really seen before. You know, it's like they talk about superheroes in a different way, and they I don't know, their powers are interesting, the concept is different. I really like it. I think that if you're into superheroes, it's definitely something you want to check out, because it's different than all the other superhero content that is out, really. So definitely check that out. Emmy, you watched this.
Yeah, I watched it when I was little. It was one of my favorite shows growing up. Probably like my most favorite show when I was like 8. Really good. It's just so compelling, and it's long, so it's something you can really follow for a while.
It's very 2000s though, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, but it's cute.
Okay, but do you want to
It's
do the
very
outro?
like innocuous.
Do you want to do the outro?
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, guys, that is all I have for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I gave you some good recommendations for things that you might enjoy. Let me know if you want me to do another one of these videos in like 3 months when I have watched a million other things. Or even if you want me to do one for movies, that's another thing I can do. So comment down below if you've watched any of these shows and say what you liked. Say what you didn't like. Say if you agreed with me, if you didn't, or any other recommendations. If you want a recommendation for a show based on something that you like, I can also do that. Because I have no life, and I'll do it for you.
That's true.
So hit the like button and subscribe. We also have a podcast, which you can check out here. It comes out every Wednesday-ish. We are also on Spotify and a bunch of other streaming platforms if you want to watch on there. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye! You need to make a blooper reel of just the phone falling.
Yeah. Straightforward.
These are so... Those are the vibes for ya. Oopsies.
The and paint.
One line.
This is going really well.